we have learned that all the conditions with mod and सब कुछ हो गया अभी अपना. Now we are in a state to define the intervals. What do you mean by intervals? It may be closed interval, open interval, semi-open, semi-closed. Do you understand? So let us start now. If I write a comma b, can you define this? What is this? This is set of all x belong to real number such that a is less than x less than b. Do you agree? This is called open interval. Yeah? Is that clear, everyone? If I put closed interval a to b, then how will this be defined as? X belong to real number such that a is less than equal to x less than equal to b. Perfect. Similarly, if I put one side open and one side closed, you know what is that, correct? This will be x belong to real number such that a is less than x and less than equal to b, and here it will be set of all x belong to real number such that a is less than equal to x less than b. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, now what about this guy? Sorry, can somebody define this? I'll write the first part, x belong to real number. उसके आगे का तुम लोग बोलो अभी. Anyone? X is greater than a. Anything else? No. Good. X is greater than a. Here the bound is only lower bound, that is x is greater than a. Upper bound, it can be anything. Perfect. What about this thing? Yeah, x is less than b. Perfect. See, infinity को कभी भी close interval मत देना, because we don't know what is infinity, correct? Infinity is not a number, so कभी भी close interval उसको मत देना, ठीक है? Same अगर less than, यहाँ पे less than equal to डाला, then this will become close interval. I'll just quickly write e to infinity, and this is minus infinity to b. You already know, you just complete this, correct? So these are the interval. So basically we will be using, what do you mean by length of an interval? If I say this is point A, this is point B, what will be the length? Yeah, anyone? If you are not understanding, you can take example. Suppose 1 is here, 2 is here. What is the length between 1 and 2? Or I will say, yeah, perfect. How did you do that? Okay, that is here it is 5 minus 1, correct? That is 4. And here you are saying that is b minus a. Perfect. Okay, now next question is, what about this guy? What is the length? Oh, wait, let me just make it minus 3. What is the length? How did you do that? Same, that is b minus a or a minus b. What did you do? Yeah, minus 3 minus of minus, and if I'm putting that is b minus a again, So this is this, that is minus 3 plus 7, that is 4. Correct? Am I correct? Yeah, good. So what do you see again? The length is b minus a. Can I write the length as, I should put one more example. Mm, in between there is 0, and see this is 2 and this is minus 3. What is the length? Correct? So, and one more thing, length is always positive, so it is better to define this b minus a as mod of b minus a. Is that okay? Perfect, very nice. And you see this guy is same as mod of a minus b by property of mod, if you understand. How can you say both the thing are true? Because in this I can take minus common. If I take minus common, this will be minus of a minus b, and you already know mod of something is same as this guy. Is that correct? So length, I will say length is mod of a minus b or mod of b minus a. Is that okay? Yeah, very nice. Okay. Now I am saying something. Suppose mod of x minus 1 is less than 2. Can you solve this equation and tell me the value of x? We had done some questions like this. Can you tell me? Identification of set. Do you remember? We had done so many questions on that. How to solve this thing? Perfect, perfect. Mod of mod of x is less than k, then it implies that minus k is less than x is less than k. Perfect. Even अगर ये प्रॉपर्टी यूज नहीं किया तभी भी चलेगा, बट दिस इज द बेस्ट थिंग कि प्रॉपर्टी यूज करो तो तुम्हारा काम बहुत इजी हो जाएगा. इज दैट करेक्ट एवरीवन? डू यू रिमेंबर दिस प्रॉपर्टी? Yeah, do you remember this property, everyone? We had proved this. Yeah. Can I use it here? So what this will become? This will become minus 2 is less than x minus 1. That is less than 2. What next? Add plus 1 to everybody. So this will be 1 minus 2. That is minus 1. This is less than x and this is less than 3. Is that clear, everyone? So what is the interval? Open interval minus 1 to 3. Yeah, good. So do you see that the answer is minus 1 to 3? Correct, open interval minus 1 to 3. Yeah. And do you see uh, where is 1? Where is 1 here? There will be 1 somewhere here. Do you agree? So what are the points I am getting? I am getting all the points which are near to 1. This side also, this side also. Do you see that? If I am having mod of x minus 1, so I am getting all the points which are near to 1. This side also and this side also. And how much near? 2 length from here and 2 length from here. Do you see the role of 2? See, I'm asking what is my final answer? My final answer is minus 1 to 3. So I am just looking at this guy. Where is my 1? 1 is in between. And what is the role of my 2 here? Role of 2 is uh, 1 is in the neighborhood of people which are at least 2 distance from here. Do you see that 1 is here? And the interval, what is the highest point here? That is distance between this 1 and 3 is 2. That is length. I should talk about length. And same here also. Minus 1 and 1, what is the length? 2. So in general, if I say something like this, x minus a is less than b, so can you say something? A will be somewhere here, and here it will be something like this, correct? And the length will be b here, and it will be b here. Do you agree? That means this guy will be a plus b, and this guy will, sorry, I should not put bracket, and this guy will be a minus b. Do you agree? Just check with this guy, that is 1 plus 2, this is 3, and this is 1 minus 2, that is minus 1. Is that correct? So what this interval tool tells you, that is I am getting all the neighborhood point. Neighborhood means what? You understand that neighbor, these points are neighbor to a, correct? These are neighborhood points. So I'll define one new term, that is called neighborhood. Neighborhood of a real number. Okay, so the short form, we used to write it as NBD. Okay, let me start. Let E belong to R, and R be a positive number, or maybe I should say epsilon, because we'll be using this type of notation later on. I'll say epsilon. Epsilon is a number, don't get scared with this guy. Epsilon is a real number. Okay, then the we'll see the epsilon neighborhood of A is denoted by n of A comma epsilon. It is denoted by n of A comma epsilon, and is defined by n of E comma epsilon, that is equal to set of all points x belong to R such that mod of x minus A is less than epsilon. Yeah, read the definition once again and try to see what it is saying. Do you see identification of set में भी ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन थे, if you remember, x belong to R such that ऐसा, correct? So do you understand neighborhood का मतलब क्या रहेगा? If I say n of A comma epsilon, then what do you mean by that? You need to give me all real number, all x which is satisfying this equation, correct? Now if I ask you find n of 1 comma 2, can you give me what is that? What do you mean by n of 1 comma 2? That means your A is 1 and epsilon is 2. You just have to solve this thing. Please mute yourself. Hey, who is that? Do you understand this definition? If I say n of E comma epsilon, that means what? It is giving me set of all values which are neighbor. We will read this as it is neighborhood of A with the, or you can say neighborhood of A. This is just epsilon. Correct? If I am asking about this, then what will be the answer? Can you tell me? Perfect. Mod of x minus 1 that is less than 2. Can you solve that later on? You know the property of mod, that is mod x is less than k, then minus k is less than x is less than k, correct? We just have did this the same thing actually हमने solve किया ना अभी just यही क्वेश्चन था शायद. Yeah. What happened to this? Yeah, good. You just check. So जो हम लोग ने ये solve किया that was same thing. So your neighborhood will be an interval, and what type of interval that is? The final answer कौन सा interval आया? Whether it is open interval, close interval, semi open, what do you think? And do you see ये हमेशा open interval ही आएगा? Can you claim that? Can you be sure that this will be always open interval? How can you be sure? Simple. Try to solve this thing only. Mod of x minus a that is less than epsilon, that means what? Minus epsilon that is less than. Perfect. Very nice. What next? That is e minus epsilon that is less than x and that is less than e plus epsilon. Is that correct? So that means this whole set, ये क्या था x के बारे में बोल रहा है ना, this whole set can be written as e minus epsilon comma e plus epsilon. Is that clear everyone? You can clearly see this is an open interval. Is that clear? Yeah. Yeah, very nice. So okay, now whether the neighborhood is unique, or let us do some question first, then we'll see. Suppose I am saying a is equal to minus 1 and b is equal to 1. Okay, find n of e comma 1 by 2, n of e comma 1. Just quickly finish this. N of b comma half, and try to visualize the thing. N of b comma 1. What will be n of e comma half? First write the definition. N of e comma epsilon, that is set of all x belong to real number such that, yes, mod of x minus e that is less than epsilon, correct? Now is that clear everyone? Yeah, okay. Now the question, let us do a simple exercise. Okay, let me just write the statement first. Show that for every, I'll write here, for every p belong to EB, there exists a an epsilon neighborhood. मैं शॉर्टकट में NBD लिखूंगा. I hope you can understand. Epsilon neighborhood, that is n of p epsilon of p such that np epsilon that is contained in EB. First of all, how many of you understand this? Read it once again, and are you able to understand what this guy is saying? Read it. Show that for every p belong to AB, there exists an epsilon neighborhood of p such that, that means what, you have to find a epsilon. such that NP of epsilon that is contained in AB. Just think of it once again. So I'll give you one example. In earlier case, you already see. I'll take this one only. Suppose I am talking about one that belongs in the interval -1 to say 3. Do you agree? One belongs to this interval. Okay. Now, what is my claim? I need to find a neighborhood. Correct. I need to find an epsilon such that neighborhood should contain in this guy. That means simple thing is that uh, this is my 1, this is my interval, say -1 to 3 here. Correct. ठीक है. सो यहाँ पे क्या आएगा, 0 आएगा, यहाँ पे 2, यहाँ पे 3. परफेक्ट. So can somebody give me a neighborhood? Neighborhood means what? You need to give me an epsilon such that जो neighborhood आया that should lie inside that बड़ा वाला interval है. What will be my epsilon? What will be the epsilon? What should I take epsilon? हाँ, यू आर करेक्ट दैट सर ये इंटरवल तो है उसके अंदर लाई करता है. अभी ऐसा कौन सा एप्सिलॉन का वैल्यू रहेगा जिसके लिए ये इंटरवल आएगा, ये इंटरवल मेरा नेबरहुड रहेगा इसका. नो, यू आर नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग एक्चुअली. 1 से यहाँ तक का डिस्टेंस क्या है, डू यू रिमेंबर? एंड 1 से यहाँ तक का डिस्टेंस क्या है? 1 ना. करेक्ट. हियर ऑल्सो द डिस्टेंस इज 1. डू यू सी, मैंने पहले ही बताया तुम लोग को, इवन इधर भी मैंने शो किया था कि ये डिस्टेंस क्या था मेरा, 2 ये केस में. करेक्ट. सो ट्राई टू ऑब्जर्व इट प्रॉपरली. सो व्हाट विल बी दिस 0 to 1, ये कौन सा 0 to 2 कौन सा इंटरवल रहेगा, कौन सा नेबरहुड रहेगा? दिस इज नेबरहुड ऑफ विच? नेबरहुड ऑफ 1 विथ व्हाट इज द एप्सिलॉन हियर? Or if you're not getting that, so what this guy is saying, your x is lying between 0 and 2. Do you agree? Yeah, I'll show you, don't worry. So earlier I told you that my point is 1 and it is lying between -1 to 3. Is that clear now? Is the first part clear? Okay. Now I'm asking, give me a NP epsilon, sorry, N1 epsilon. Give me a N1 epsilon such that this N1 epsilon that is completely lying inside that whole interval, big one, -1 to 3. Read the statement once again. Show that for every, yeah, perfect. Just 1 second. Show that for every p belong to this, there exists an epsilon. You need to find an epsilon neighborhood such that that epsilon neighborhood is completely contained in that. So you can clearly see -1 to 3 है. So better I should take this guy 0 to 2. If I'm taking 0 to 2, मतलब मेरा neighborhood 0 to 2 आना चाहिए. So what is the epsilon? Epsilon means what? जो भी डिस्टेंस है यहाँ से 1 से लेके यहाँ तक एंड 2 से 1 से लेके यहाँ तक. What is the distance? That is 1, no? So that epsilon I should choose epsilon is equal to 1. Now we need to check whether this is satisfying. So find n of 1 1. What will be n of 1 1? Set of all x belong to real numbers such that x minus 1 that is less than 1. Can you quickly tell me what will be this? X minus 1 is less than 1. 0 to 2. Do you agree? And do you see we have proved, that is and you clearly see that 0 to 2, that is completely lying in the interval minus 1 to 3. Yeah, and this 0 to 3 2 is n of 1 1, that is completely lying between minus 1 to 3. Do you see that? This is what I was asking you to prove. Correct? That means you need to give me an epsilon such that with that epsilon I am forming a neighborhood that is completely contained in this interval. Is that okay?